Hey everyone. Today here in Missouri, we are voting on a couple of things. A use tax, which is supposed to go toward education, and a couple of Board of Education members. And obviously, it's got me thinking about education and how important it is, and how some far right elements in our country do not like you to, or do not like the idea of people being educated. The reason for that is very simple. They don't want people smart enough to see through their bullshit, basically. Uh, Low educated populace is pretty easy to control, they're very easy to dupe. Recently, Vice President Trump put Linda McMahon, co founder of WWE, in charge of education, somehow uh, having promoted a wrestling organization somehow qualifies you to uh, dismantle the Department of Education. Which, well, I mean, I guess anybody could really do that. She originally she wanted the job of Commerce Secretary, but I guess Howard Lutnick's contribution was a little bigger than hers. Uh, Howard Lutnick. I love this guy. He was on TV on Fox News last week, or was it CNBC? It was one of these, uh, talking about how his mother-in-law, if she misses a Social Security payment, well, it's not going to bother her. It's no big deal. She would just think something went wrong. It'll be here next week. Howard Lutnick is a billionaire. Of course, his mother-in-law doesn't have to worry about. She knows he's got her, but Linda McMahon, she had to settle for the peanuts that were tossed her way, and she'll get to dismantle the Department of Education. Meanwhile, in my home state in Louisiana, the main thing they're concerned about with education is making sure we have the Ten Commandments on display. These are people who always talk about, education is the schools are indoctrinating your kids. And this last presidential campaign, we saw the big orange blob, Vice President Trump, push this line about, you send your son to school and he comes back as a girl, like they're doing like transgender surgeries at schools or something. And he has people believing that the Department of Education is responsible for indoctrinating children, which really their main function is to provide funding. Here in this area, this county in Missouri, they it's over $2,000 per student that they contribute, and so that's very significant in a poor county in a poor state. But it's a red state, so of course it's poor because you know economic policies in red states are we knock they knock blue states all the time, complain about them all the time, but they basically live off the taxes paid by blue states, federal funding. That's oh yeah, I forgot most federal funding. President Most decided we don't really need. So good job, red states, for getting on board with that. But yeah, I mean, we have to have, the far right always pushes for prayers in schools and mandatory pledges. And, you know, they want, in Oklahoma, the Bible has to be taught in school. Their state secretary of education, he decided that, yeah, we're going to teach the Bible in schools. But then he decided that there were going to be certain criteria that these Bibles had to meet, and it just so happens that the only Bible, he decided that the Bibles used had to have a copy, had to have the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights and different things included in it, which just so happens that the only Bibles that have that are the Trump Bibles. So he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of state money to buy Trump Bibles. Sounds like a grift to me. But anyway, anyone here in Missouri who's watching this, get out and vote. Remember your children's education, your grandchildren's education. It's vital. It's vital to just everything in life. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thanks.